This is Jerry. Jerry is a sailor, Tom is a captain. You're gonna wanna hear what's about to happen. It's the Tom and Jerry Experience. The Tom and Jerry Experience. It's the Tom and Jerry Experience. The Tom and Jerry Experience. It's the Tom and Jerry Experience. Tom and Jerry Experience.
Hello!
Hey there.
How's everybody doing today?
Uh,
How you doing, Captain Tom?
I'm all right. I'm hanging in there.
Welcome back to the Tom and Jerry Experience.
Here we are.
Now, it's been a little bit since our last episode. We did go live at the Reds game the other day. That was kind of fun.
Yes, I had a good time that day.
And we got to enjoy a win.
A win,
So
yeah.
that was good. Now, we wanted to briefly mention, we did in the family we had a loss in the family since our last episode, and so one of your siblings, right?
Yes.
And we've mentioned his name on the show before. Harry is his name, and so condolences on that. And we're gonna miss Uncle Harry.
Yeah.
But for today's show, go ahead.
I was missing him from the minute I heard he was gone.
Yeah, absolutely. But in today's show, we are going to talk about who or what that maybe you wanted to be when you were growing up. Okay, what did you want to be? Who did you want to be? Did you have a person that you wanted to be like or something like that? And I'm gonna tell a quick story. I think.
Well,
for me, that's what we're here for, right?
Take as much time as you think you need, man.
When I was a kid, probably when I was a younger teenager,
You were a kid? Oh,
yeah, right. I said, I remember saying that I wanted to be in business, but I didn't know what that meant. Right? I had no clue. I wanted to be in business. When I grow up, I want to work in an office.
You wanted to be a businessman, carry a briefcase and stuff.
Yeah,
right? Wear the suit and tie, right?
Of course, I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know anything. But it's weird how in life, sometimes...
we get thrown curveballs, I'm telling you.
Well, in life, though, sometimes dominoes fall, and it makes you get to where you are today, as an example. And I'll give you a prime example, right? So I've mentioned numerous times I was in the Navy, okay? I'll never forget this, okay? So we are overseas, and at the time I was a cook in the Navy, okay? And there was this young man who he was just he was working in food service with us, but like only temporarily, if you get what I'm saying, right?
Okay.
So if you were new to the ship, you had to work with food service for a little bit, for like 3 months before you went to your normal job. Okay.
Gotcha.
So he was just frustrated. He's like, I hate doing this, blah, 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 and I just want to work in my job, it's having to do dishes, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I talked to him, and I was like, hey, you know what? Eventually you'll get to your job, and it's not going to last forever, stuff like that, da, 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 da. So after our conversation, he felt much better about that, right? So then afterwards, there was a guy that was senior to me. He was senior to my rank, he was above me, right?
Okay.
And he says, hey, I really enjoyed that conversation you had. He goes, I think you would be a good recruiter. Right? And I'm like, what? Okay, thank you for the compliment. That was very nice. He goes, the way you talked to that guy was real great, And did you ever think about going into recruiting? And I was like, no way, I never thought about that. So anyway, fast forward a little bit, I got out of the Navy. This was like, I had like 10 years in the Navy. I got out. Then I joined the reserve. I said, well, I'm not giving up I wanted to do a 20-year career, So I said, I'm going to join the reserves, okay? So I moved back to Cincinnati, and I joined the reserves. Now, I called whoever the recruiter was in charge at the reserve center. I said, hey, I'm so-and-so, because I had already joined the reserves in a different state, right? I said, I'm here now. What do I got to do? We just had a nice conversation over the phone. And then she says to me, she goes, oh, by the way, have you ever considered recruiting? I was like, wait, this is like the second time somebody said this to me, right? So I'm like, it's funny you say that. Well, let's have a conversation about it. So sure enough, I interviewed for the job. I was able to recall back to active duty Navy to be a recruiter in my hometown for the Navy. Now, as it turns out, okay, I was able to do that for the remainder of my 10 years to finish out my 20, all in Cincinnati. Very rare occurrence, right? So now, remember that as a kid, I was like, I want to work in business, right? Well, so now I'm in this recruiting field, okay?
All right.
So I retire, start working again, but then I start going to college.
Right, I remember.
Okay. So I had never stepped foot in college ever before, up to that point. Now here I am, I'm pushing 40, getting ready to go to college. So anyway, I'm working full time. I go to college, and what kind of degree do I get? A business degree, of course. Now, small little thing to the side. My mom, who I mentioned before, came to town to see me graduate as a surprise. She came to surprise me, right? And she reminded me that before I joined the Navy, I promised her that when I got out of the Navy, I would go to college. Well, we didn't know I was going to spend 20 years in the Navy, you know what I mean? So,
Right.
But I kept that promise. I didn't realize it was a promise, but I kept that promise because I got my bachelor's degree.
Right.
She came, saw it, and then I moved on to, obtain my master's degree, okay? And that led me into the world that I'm in now, which is human resources. Everybody that works anywhere knows what human resources is, right?
Right.
So, and I work in an office. I don't wear a tie. Okay, I wear stuff like this, okay? But I don't wear a tie to work. But holy cow, when I was maybe 13, I was like, I want to work in business when I grow up. All those dominoes that I mentioned
Right.
kind of happened, and here we are today. So that's my story, okay? For some reason I said I want to work in business. I'm working in business in a human resource capacity, but that's what led to where I'm at today. All right.
Alrighty.
So anyway, we put this question out to the interwebs. Okay. So what about you, producer CJ? What do you want to be when you grow up?
When I was little, I wanted to be Joey Votto. I don't know why, but he was like the only baseball player I knew, so I was like, I want to be Joey Votto.
See, there you go.
See, now, it's funny you said that. When I was growing up, guess who I wanted to be?
Pete Rose.
You're close. Johnny Bench.
Oh, the catcher, yeah.
Because the way I looked at it, the catcher runs the game.
Hey, you know what? You're right about that. I agree.
In modern times, when I grow up, I just want to be me.
See, there you go.
But I wanted to be a ball player when I was young, and
Yeah.
then when I had to give up that dream
Sure.
because I realized I couldn't really do it.
Right.
So then I found out that broadcasters of a certain team, if that team wins the World Series that year, whoever
Right.
the team is, the broadcasters for that team get a World Series ring as well.
Sure. So you said I want to be a broadcaster. Is that?
That made me want to be a broadcaster, which I tried to go to college for in the
Yeah.
early 80s. And
Well, you kind of partied a little bit, so
too much, yes. And other things happened. But anyway,
Yeah. So let's move on to some comments that people gave
you
us.
know, we're doing it now, though.
Oh, yeah. You know what? We are.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
we
look
are.
at that. So that was like 40-something years later, right?
So that's-
there we go.
A little bit of our
All right.
past lives.
That's right. All right, so Marilyn contributed. She has contributed before. Thank you, Marilyn, for contributing. She says, it always frustrated me, she says, especially in high school, that I couldn't figure out what I wanted to be when I graduated. She says, so many of my classmates already knew. In hindsight, I would have studied to be here's a word, psychotherapist. And she says, now here's where it gets funny. She says, I think that I would have been good at that. I would have had plenty of clients just with my own family LOL.
That I don't disagree with.
She does say that.
Oh yeah,
I'm going to read one more here that contributed. Nancy. She has contributed in the past. Okay. Now, she writes a little bit here. She says, don't laugh, she says. First, she says she wanted to be a ballerina.
Okay.
She says, I could even dance on my toes barefoot. Then she says, I wanted to be a nurse. She goes, got a scholarship, but made a decision I couldn't handle hurt kids. So she didn't want to be a nurse anymore. So she turned it down. She says, stupid, didn't ask anyone. She didn't get any guidance, She goes, got another when kids were like 8, 9. Orientation said 8 hours school, 8 hours homework. So she's like, I don't want to do that. I didn't want to go to school, for like a nursing field. Too much work, too much homework, But she says, then she had family, then kids. So she did social work instead.
Yes.
She said, ha ha ha, still the healer. I tell you, that is a world social work. That is like probably the most underappreciated job out
Yes,
there.
and I can, I can
vouch for that, huh?
Firsthand. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the way I live.
And I tell you, I don't think that they make like a lot of money, but man, they do a lot of good work.
Yeah. Caregivers and people like teachers and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they deserve more money than they get. I know that.
So do you have any, what you got over there?
Well, you gave me 3 here. We got Sue.
Okay, she's contributed. Thank you, Sue.
Thank you to everybody that's contributed ever. She goes, I always wanted to write a book. It's actually on my mind again now that I am retired.
Nice. Well, Sue, if you do write a book, I wonder what you're going to call it, what the title is. But hey, we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah.
Don't sue me.
Oh, good one. Don't sue me. Ooh, I like that.
That was cute.
I like that. Yeah.
That was cute, CJ. Yeah.
Hey, write that down. All right, I got a lawyer on speed dial. We're going to copyright that. No, go ahead. What you got there, Uncle Captain Tom?
Well, both is correct.
Yeah, that's correct. That's right.
I'm going to actually tell the third one I've got first,
Okay.
and then end with the one I'm supposed to do now.
Okay, you do the third one, then I got one more as well.
Well, I mean, before I give the middle one, I'm going to do
That's
that one
fine.
last.
That's fine.
Patrick.
Thank you, Patrick, for contributing. Yes.
Thank you. I think we would get along famously because I idolize this person too, Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk. All right,
Yeah.
Captain Kirk. You know what's weird? Me growing up, I was probably more of a Luke Skywalker kind of guy, more than like a Captain Kirk. Although I did watch Star Trek for sure.
Yeah, well, as I keep telling people, if it wasn't for Star Trek, you wouldn't have Star Wars.
You might be right about that.
Well, I know
Yeah.
because George Lucas got his ideas from watching Star Trek. He said that.
Really?
Yes.
Very good. Hold on. This just in. We have a joke. Producer CJ, we have a joke. Here we go. I went on a ski trip. It started off fine, but went downhill fast.
Oh, Lord.
Of course, I don't know.
You gotta call those groaners, I swear.
Of course, I'm Sailor Jerry, so I don't know what kind of, maybe water skiing. I don't know. All right, before you go to your next one, your final one you got there,
Yeah.
Captain Tom. We got one here from Brenda. Now, Brenda has contributed a lot as well. Thank you,
yes.
Brenda.
Thank you all, yes.
She says that she wanted to be a teacher or a flight attendant. She said, I guess she ended up working in the insurance industry because she said she ended up being a teacher of adults in the insurance industry. So she must have, maybe she was in a training capacity, at her work where she trained the people that work there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So what do you got there? What's your final one here?
Okay, this is from Shannon.
Shannon.
And
She's contributed numerous times. Thank
Yeah.
you, Shannon. Okay.
I'm going to read it the way it reads.
All right. Go ahead.
It says, a shining rock.
Okay.
IYKYN.
If you know, you know. All right.
Well, Shannon, I don't think either of us do. And
We
if
do
you-
not know.
If you could ever explain that one to me, I'd like to know
So,
what it means.
Yes, in the comments, Shannon, if you could please explain what now we came up with an assumption of what she might be talking about.
Yes, we did.
Okay, and we said that. I'll let you give the answer, but we said that Shannon said that maybe she wants to be a shining rock. Why, Captain Tom?
Because she's a diamond in the rough.
She's a diamond in the rough, I tell you. That's what it is. Hey, and diamonds are shiny rocks.
That's what I was thinking. That's the only thing but I don't know what her reference would be.
We're not sure. She says if you know, you know. But you know what?
Question is, does she know what she...
Yeah, you know what? Unfortunately, we don't know. But we don't know much here on the Tom and Jerry experience. All right. So we want to thank everybody for contributing to that. That was a fun topic, you know.
Oh, yeah.
What did you want to be when you grew up? It's, you know, like I said, I really didn't have like a person really growing up, you know, that I wanted to be when I grew up. I don't know. You mentioned yours, right?
Well, I wanted to be a ball player because of Johnny Bench.
Gotcha.
I didn't want to be Johnny Bench.
I see what you're saying. Because of Johnny Bench. And then it kind of turned a little bit to like, well, you know, I'm maybe getting into broadcasting.
I mean, you know, yeah. But the Reds, the Cincinnati Reds, when I was a youngster, spoiled me.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We had the best
teams,
team in the world in the decade of the 70s.
And you know, quite honestly, one, if not the best broadcasters, and shout out to
several, but yes,
yeah, but you know, I mean, Marty Brennaman for decades. Yeah,
he was from 74 until I don't know what year he actually retired.
It's only been a couple years now, so I mean,
was it like 19?
Oh no! Oh, 2019. It possibly, but
he started in 74.
Yeah, 74. Yeah, I mean, he was a great broadcaster.
But we had the late Joe Nuxall before that.
Yep, absolutely.
Do you realize? Speaking of broadcasters for the Reds,
okay,
that shoot, I had his name on my mind when I said it. Al Michaels.
Okay.
Al Michaels was a broadcaster for the Reds.
So prior
to him going national.
How cool is that?
Because he was with Joe Nuxall before Marty.
I tell you what, Marty was great. Still is. He's still great.
We had the great Wade Hoyt when I was a real little kid. I don't really remember much, but I do remember listening to him with my dad. And he would actually, if it was like a rain delay, he'd stay on the air until they either played the game or quit. And he would sit there and regale you with baseball stories.
Oh, wow. Well, speaking of dads, we do have Father's Day coming up. So want to say happy Father's Day out there, you know.
To all the dads we know,
Yeah, to the future Father's Day is coming up, you know. So we just want to say happy Father's Day.
Maybe future fathers that are out there that we don't know. But...
Yeah. So we want to propose a topic for our next episode, okay? And I've kind of went on the interwebs a little bit, as I mentioned. And the question is this, folks. What was the earliest... Now, this topic did come from Captain Tom. Captain Tom came up with this topic. What was the earliest memory that you have? I'm not going to say mine yet. We'll wait till the next episode.
As a child.
Sure, yeah. Well, yeah.
It would have to be
the earliest.
Child, right.
They say... I would say most people can remember kind of 3-ish years old, maybe a little bit. I don't know, you know. So
yeah, I'm not really sure how old I was on mine either. But,
yeah,
you know,
I think
leave that for the next time.
Yeah, we will. So that's it. What was the earliest memory that you have, folks? Enlighten us here on the Tom and Jerry experience, will you? All right. Well, hey, that concludes our show.
Yeah.
What about the before and after?
Oh. So, as we are
we didn't
filming...
have that written down, guys.
Whoops! As we are filming, you may notice that Captain Tom looks a little bit different from previous shows. Do you have the before picture, Producer CJ?
I do.
So here's Captain Tom from before. Now here comes the after, which is what you currently have now. You don't look a day over, I don't know, 59.
Oh, thanks. I'm going to be 66.
Really?
Coming up in a week or so.
And you don't look a day over that. No, just kidding. But you saw the before and after. Hey, how's that? So maybe I'll grow a beard.
Actually, we could have done the after on Saturday, but we didn't think of it.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
We did the live one.
Yeah.
Sorry you had to miss that one, CJ. We had a fun time.
Yeah, we had a fun time.
But yeah.
Well, that concludes our show. That concludes our show, and like my mom always used to say, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. What say you, Captain Tom?
I just want to say I love you all, and when I mean I love you all, I mean all 97 of you.
Yeah, can we get to 100?
We got 90.
We got to get to 100.
The last we saw was 97 viewers. I love every one of you.
Hey, tell your friends.
Right. And y'all take care, and we'll see you the next time.
All right, have a great one. See you later.
Bye-bye.